My feeling about making the finals weekend was a lot of excitement. I was really proud of the guys.
Getting texts from like BJ Carr, John Shee.
After the whole COVID thing, not knowing if the season was going to go on, I think ending the season with the finals weekend was very special.
I was so happy. I was seriously so happy.
Yeah, it was really good, really excited, really proud of this team. Yeah.
We'd worked that hard, throughout the season, rebuilding a squad, getting the squad to gel, changing game plans, changing roles for players.
Really thrilled and really proud, and like I said, I think that being a Southo side that was mainly Southo guys, I think it was a bit of a chip on your shoulder that we did it without imports and without recruiting.
We had a young team and no other team kind of had that was in the finals. We just gelled really quickly. We're all young, we're all very gung-ho, like push the ball, play hard, play fun, and then we made the finals and it was really exciting. It was a good time.
And I think probably our coaching staff did a wonderful job taking it game by game. We never talked about the grand final till we were there. We just sort of game at a time.
And to have it the finals weekend at Sutherland was awesome. We're all G'd up and excited.
Everyone was looking at Central Coast and Manly and stuff, so we all kind of come in, what have we got to lose? Let's just have a crack.
That was real emotional for me. The fact that, that was my, and I'm sure plenty of the boys' first finals weekend.
It's really exciting, and especially to be at Sutherland was awesome.
Super elated because I think this is probably the furthest I've been with a team forever. I'm not really much of a winner.
That's the first time I've made finals since juniors. Haven't really had that type of winning culture around before.
That was the first time really that I'd been a part of a team that was that successful.
Surprisingly, I've always played on winning teams when I came to Australia, but more often times than not, I came second. It would be a shame if I came second again.
I was excited. I loved it. I've been to finals once before. I was just looking forward to doing that again and trying to take it out this time.
It was a first for a lot of them, but a tremendously proud moment to get them there. The lead up to the Central Coast was probably one of the most professional lead ups I've had with a group.
We stepped up in the intensity of training because we all knew how much was at stake.
I was super excited for that game. I was buzzing.
I think the lead up was around really just staying calm and focused, and I think for a young side we did a really, really good job of just saying 40 minutes, quarter at a time, let's go out and get Central Coast, and then if we do that we'll talk about Sunday.
I remember we were all pretty relaxed going into the week. We knew what we had to do. We beat them before, but we knew that they were going to come back.
They've got some very smart coaches with a lot of experience at that level. They were the defending champions, so we knew that this was going to be probably the hardest game that we had so far all season.
We were all pretty confident going in because we beat them last time. We knew it would be a tougher game.
But the thing I'll always remember about this group is just how much fun they had. And I think that's been the biggest key to our success. We knew we had the system, we knew we had the players, we just needed to go and execute and do it.
I felt confident leading up to the game. We pumped them previously. I knew they would be better and better prepared.
I remember walking into the stadium on the finals weekend, and it was probably the calmest I'd ever been throughout the season.
Some of all the faces that you hadn't seen come to a home game all year, and they were coming in and bringing an energy.
That match was an incredible roller coaster of emotion. And it's a tremendous credit to my assistant coaches inside that game because they did some things behind the scenes that really helped us get to where we were in that game.
I was lucky enough to do that one with Matt McQuaid, who's done a lot of broadcasting over the years with the Sydney Kings, and we did that semi-final together, and that was just a terrific game considering the strength of that Central Coast side, the fact that they'd won it the year before.
The first half was just this war of attrition.
They were playing a lot of pace, same that we like to play with, so it was a grind. It was a grind the whole 40 minutes.
I just remember it was always going to be runs, and Central Coast had 2 or 3 guys that are really, really streaky guys, so when you're playing a team like that can score just so quick and in such spurts, you're always, I guess, a bit hesitant and a bit nervous as you do start to accrue a bit of a lead.
The first 5 minutes is going to be the key coming out after half time because this will be the time they want to go on their run. And sure enough, within the next 3 to 4 minutes, and they were 9 points ahead. And I credit Nighty, for a lot of this, because they'd gone on their run, and he very quietly tapped me on the shoulder and he said, "Coach, I think we're going to need to change our D a little bit, and I reckon you try a little press here." I think we went on a 12 or 13 point run at that stage. You could just see the confidence lift inside the players.
I can't remember who exactly it was, but at the end of that game, there was sort of 2 or 3 really important steals that were just getting to loose balls, and there was some physicality that guys sort of didn't shy away from.
We started to hit these shots, and I'll never forget the one shot that I think Brendan hit midway through that third quarter, or the back end of the third quarter, which gave us, I think, about a 5 or 6 point lead at that time.
Anyway, Win Stanley just jacks it and hits! Oh my!
For a young player to come out and hit a shot of that caliber, in a pressure situation like we were in, was just amazing.
Bailey's defense was like next level that game. He would have been the best defender in the league for that game.
And I remember in the second half, he came to me and he said, "Coach, don't take me off because I got these guys."
Yeah, because they forced a couple of turnovers. Yeah, there's some heat up the floor the other way. And they get the turnover from it. Hutchinson goes all the way in and scores. Without having a timeout. Absolutely, the energy's dropped a little bit. Muslim, terrific move to the rack and scores.
Towards the back end of that third quarter and that fourth quarter, Liam Thomas and Big Brandon started to get involved in the paint.
And looking inside to Thomas. He's got that mismatch against Rebellion. Hook shot is good. Liam Thomas.
Bates played he played really good minutes, and I remember everyone stepping up really well.
Norris, good feed and a good finish. Count the basket and one.
But it was going to come down to how well we were going to play D at the end of the game.
We had guys, come off the bench and play their role. Like Nick Fang started, plays D like amazing. Guards one of their best guys, Mitch Ruder, who's a proven guy in the ABA, and keeps him to low numbers, which was a massive play for us to win the game.
Yeah, I just remember guarding the shooter guy, so it was just constantly the whole game is like, oh, where is he? Don't want to lose track of him. And I think one time I lost track of him in transition, and then he hit a 3, so it's just like, damn.
I remember down the stretch, I think there was about 60 seconds on the clock, and I think it was just going end to end. No one could really score a bucket. And then I think we got down to about 20 seconds on the clock, and Brendan Winstanley gets fouled.
Brendan Winstanley came down with a massive rebound when we needed it. I left Ruder wide open for a 3, which was silly of me, and then he had 3 Central Coast guys around him. He snagged it with one hand, brought it down, held on to it, got fouled.
Ruder looking for it all, and he's short with it. And there's a foul with 7.3 seconds left.
And I could see this poor kid. I could see the Central Coast players just walking beside him, trash talking him all the way up the court. And I'm thinking to myself, how's he going to respond to this? What's he going to do?
Has the game at the line. He makes them both, and you'd have to say it'd be very difficult for Central Coast.
He's going to go and shoot 2 shots. And I'm thinking to myself, Brendan, just make one.
My first one, I couldn't hear anything. I just was so focused.
Well, he needs to make at least one. That takes the 3-point. That means they can't win it with a 3-point of the coast if they run it up the court quickly. He hasn't been to the free throw line tonight. And that's a nerveless free throw. Ice in the veins.
So he makes the first one, which was, you could just see the relief in his face.
After that first one dropped, the nerves came straight back.
One more to make it a 2-possession game. Can't do it.
Even though he didn't make that second one, it gave us enough.
They're running it. The clock hasn't started yet, incredibly. So here we go. They have a chance to tie. They need a 3. Hodgson pulls up, and it's all air. Thomas on the glass, and that's it. It's over. Time has expired.
I remember the buzzer going off, and looking around at the bench, and I just had to take, a couple of seconds to collect myself and think to myself, what have we just achieved?
Really proud of our overall effort. So there's not one guy that you can say wasn't up for it, wasn't ready, and it's really, I'm proud to be part of a team like that.
That's why we won, because everyone did their job that they were asked to do that day. There's certain plays that stand out for sure, but I think I don't reckon I can pick one that would then kind of talk down on all the little things that happened, because there were so many little things that caused that win or helped us win. So I think I don't want to kind of overlook those little things, because like everyone just did their job so well.
6-5. He's got to get up. Good defense by Norris. Ruder gets it to Rebellion for 3, and that's oxygen. That's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation.
Guys diving on the floor for loose balls or taking charges and doing their the little things out there.
I remember looking out, into the crowd and seeing, a lot of old Sutherland people, people who had been here in other championships, in the mid-2000s. They're all there supporting the guys.
I remember we won, and I ran to the crowd, or I was didn't run into them because of COVID and stuff. But
I remember when we won, it kind of felt like we'd won the grand final, really. Like everyone was cheering, everyone was up.
Got me amped up for the next day. Honestly, super excited for the next day. I was like, if we can beat Central Coast, we can basically beat anyone.
And I was like, oh damn, hopefully we don't come second again.
It made us feel like, we actually could actually win the thing. People were still thinking that we were the 4th spot in the top 4 teams, and we were the 4th spot, we were the underdog, and we beat arguably one of the best top 2 teams in the league.
I keep coming back to how professional this group is. They didn't sort of, dance around at their win or anything like that. They got themselves in a huddle in the middle of the floor, and they basically said, we got one more to do.
We're almost there. We're one win away from the whole thing, and that's what you train for. That's what you dream about. That's
where it went from being excited and celebrating to what's the next job. That's what the win felt like.
And that's when our preparation started.
Everyone hung out in the car park, and then it was home to sort of ice and stretch and do everything that people do.
We all hung out after the game. We were just talking about the grand final and just getting ready. And
disappointed we couldn't get to Boyles, but Darky was pretty strict.
Tremendously proud moment as a coach to be around the players, when they achieve something like that. But it was a roller coaster. I can't go past how well these players, prepared.
There was messaging in the group chat, and I think, we had a bit of a scout, so people knew what their assignments were going to be on the Sunday. And
we knew it was going to be a hard game. We watched the Norths game in the semi that they played.
We learnt from our first game against Manly that we needed to shut down Froling as much as possible.
Froling destroyed Norths the night before, and we knew he was going to be a challenge.
I was definitely dreading it a tiny bit, because I knew Sam was going to be there. I was like,
we knew Froling was going to get his own points and put his fingerprints all over the game, but if we shut down everyone else, that we're in with a chance.
They give me a lot of flack for it now, but they said to me, Coach, one of the best ideas you had all season was to get us up and do a recovery session at the pool at 8 a.m. the next morning.
And Ducky goes, let's all go down to Cronulla and get some recovery in and go in the ocean. And we got there, and it was pissing down rain. It was like 2 degrees. It was cold, it was miserable, and no one wanted to be there.
They were all grumbling about being out of bed so early.
Extremely sore and tired that night.
So we managed to get into the pool that might work at Cronulla. It was just like the vibe just switched. Like we were all just mucking around, having fun in the pool, getting a bit of recovery in, but also just spending some time with each other.
The key to winning a championship is to be ready to play on the second day. We left that recovery session feeling pretty confident, and then, game time. I remember walking into the change room, and the guys, were just calm.
I feel like going into that game, we had the right attitude.
We couldn't prepare the team any better than what we had prepared them. I had tremendous amount of confidence in what we were going to do as a group.
Everyone was just locked in. It was really cool to see.
But the guys were just taken in the moment.
Once you make the grand final, I think you take a big, a breath of relief, because you're there. Like, you roll the dice, whatever happens. You've put yourself in a position to take it out.
It was like you have nothing else to give. You just just lay everything on the line. There's nothing, there's no tomorrow. So just give everything you got.
Just how we played up until the finals, we were pretty confident that we were gonna at least give it a crack.
We executed within our stuff, so we didn't do anything outside of what we'd done all year. We got shots within our sets. We executed well. We capitalised on things that were in the scout that we wanted to do, and I think the coaches did a fantastic job, and sort of our senior playing group did a fantastic job. So the whole game, it felt pretty controlled, like we were getting through what we wanted to do and executing how we wanted to.
I really thought we were going to pull it out. I was like, yeah, we're going to win on our home court, give these people a show and everything like that.
We were there. It was our game to win or lose.
Everyone was standing up on every play, screaming their hearts out, just so excited for everyone, no matter what.
They got some great players who've played in big games before, so it was just like a tough game, really. They don't make many mistakes, so had to limit our mistakes, and it was tough.
The fact that we're so young, I was 20 and I'm 21. Brennan's 20, Callum's 20, Bailey's 22 or something, 23. Liam Thomas is only 25. We're so young, and competing against Sam Froling, that was played for Australia last year. Probably going to be starting centre on the Hawks. Steve White, Indiana Faithful, NBL guy. Just so many big names, old heads, and that have been there before.
Some of our young guys stood up, like Bailey got out and guarded some really talented basketballers full court.
Muslin. Good spin move. Scoop shot is good. Oh, what a play by Bailey Muslin. And is that the spark the Sharks needed? Faithful. Jelena. Faithful on the up fake. Good defense from Muslin. Froling again, step through, nice pass inside, and it's blocked. Bates got a piece of it. Muslin turning down the three, looking to attack. Throws up a wild shot and scores with a left hand. How did he get that off?
Hutch offensively made some N1 plays and some big shots and tough shots and contested shots, and you put faith in guys like that are that talented to do that in big games, and he stood up.
And there's Hutchinson, beautiful drive.
I thought Liam was absolutely fantastic in the end. I've always Liam's so scrawny. Sometimes you think he's going to get hurt, but I think Liam showed huge balls in that game, and he didn't shy away from any physicality.
Oh, just watching Liam Thomas go against the other big guy on the other team, it's just so inspiring, really.
Froling. This goes in, rejected by Thomas. Thomas leading the Waratah league in block shots at over 3 per game set. Hutchinson, what a great feed to Thomas, and he finishes.
Liam and Bates were massive in that game. They were locking down that post way better than they thought they would, and I feel like that kept us so close.
Trying to run a couple of picks, and here's Froling just attacking the rim. The defense from Bates. Great pass, Hutchinson. Beautiful find. Inside to the big fella Bates. And in he did. Oh, Bates, quick spin move. They shut him. Yeah, good double team from Painter. Stays with it and scores off the window.
Nick Finn, came out and did a big job and kept the scoreboard rolling over when we were flat.
Jelena with 8 on the shot clock. And travelling violation on Christian. Turns the ball over. Feng on the tape. Hangs and fires and hits.
His teammates might not be wanting to take it on. He's all for it.
Inside, that's a beautiful move. Feng going to the rack, forces his way in against Richmond and scores.
We'll need him out there for Froling eventually.
Good spin move from Feng and a finish.
I think you could probably go through and circle everyone in that game that had a big play at some point. It was a real team effort, that game.
I felt like we had all the ability to win, but then you see who they've got on their team, and they were playing well too, and it was just an insane matchup. And I think Manly didn't expect that. No one kind of expected us to have too much of a go there, and we were right there till the end.
We hit some big shots throughout that game. We played a brand of basketball that we were incredibly proud of that day. And with 3 minutes to go, we were only down by a point or a couple of points.
They were outstanding as well. So take nothing away from what Manly did.
You know, they had some outstanding plays down the stretch, which was the reason why they ended up hanging the banner and we didn't. They had some guys who, you know, were more veteran and could make plays down the stretch. I think that was our big loss.
Had a couple of players at the end here and there. I think fatigue got to us towards the end of the game as well. But yeah, overall, really proud.
We probably should have even won the game, I thought. If it wasn't for our, you know, just in the fourth quarter, we kind of just went quiet on the offensive end.
And that's it. The Manly bench goes berserk, and it is all over.
We played so hard that game. I don't think we left anything in the tank on that or on that court. I don't think we could have done anything more. We executed our game plans to a T. I'm incredibly proud of all the players for how well they applied it.
You know, that's not the last time we'll be in that last game of the season.
The fact that we were, you know, so competitive gives me a lot of confidence for future years, and
if we can rally around each other this year as well, we'll get there.
Hungry for more.
For us to compete and you know, play on our home floor was amazing, and I think that really sets the foundation going forward for Sutherland. That, you know, we are a club that's going to be a threat year in, year out just because of that.
I think we did so well getting into the finals in the first place. A loss hurts so much because we were so close the whole game.
If you know me, I'm an emotional guy, and I don't like losing at the best of times, especially in the grand final. I felt like I let a lot of people down. I felt like in the final 3 minutes I didn't play my best. And yeah, all I wanted to do was apologise to everybody. You know, all the older guys that came down and watched. Yeah, just say sorry that I couldn't perform my best. But yeah, that really hit hard. It really, really hurt.
It was tough to take. Kind of felt like it was our own doing towards the end in the last few minutes. We had a chance to get a few buckets here and there and really slow their momentum coming back.
It's just hard when you're playing a side like Manly. There's always that feeling with experience, you know, comes so much confidence, and I think that was the biggest thing for me and was the most telling, that we didn't finish them and we didn't execute in that last few minutes. So I think, you know, that just speaks so much volumes about experience and confidence and playing to the end. And I think, you know, that last 3 or 4 minutes with inexperience, we went away from what had worked for 36, 37 minutes. And momentum, basketball is such a fickle sport where momentum's so hard to get back but so easy to lose. And I think probably we signalled to them that, hey, we were going to try and hold on for 3 minutes, and we didn't get shots out of our offence. And as an opposing team, you go, beauty, this is ours to take. And I think they just took so much ascendancy and rolled home with so much wind in their sails. And I think, you know, everyone that played will learn from that.
While we didn't get that win, what we showed was what our future's like. One of my philosophies as a coach is to invest in the local talent. And I'm incredibly proud of the fact that we had a lot of Sutherland juniors represent us.
We didn't give up. We tried to the very end, but just came up a bit short.
And it also gave the players the validation that they belonged there.
I feel like a lot of people had written us off before the season. I feel like talking to people from other teams and stuff, they're like, we don't really have that much depth, or we're young, we don't have the experience at this level. And like the fact that we kind of didn't let that get in our head, we got all the way to the finals and almost won at the very end. Very cool.
You know, I've spoken to a lot of the players, you know, post that game, and they've all said that they will never forget it.
You got to take the positive from it. You know, it's a huge learning experience, and I think as a young side we'll be better for it. But that was a really tough one to lose.
You know, with how much quality they had on that floor, for us to do what we did was just an incredibly proud moment.
Best thing about the season was playing with fantastic teammates.
Losing the grand final, that was really tough.
One of the best big men I've ever played with in my whole career.
Just a selfless team, and yeah, hard-working team as well.
He's really a proven player in our league now.
I think it's going to be a mental game that's going to get tougher.